Listen for a moment to the soft hum beneath everything. It is there, under the clock on the wall, inside your chest, and between these lines. Reality is not a cold stone. It is a living sea that answers to the way you look at it. Your attention is not a small flashlight. It is a lantern, and, when needed, a lighthouse, sweeping the dark, calling forms out of mist, guiding them toward shore. When you turn the beam, the shoreline rearranges. When you choose a horizon, the waves seem to learn your name. You have felt this before. A room alters when you enter quietly with a clear heart. A conversation breathes differently when you choose to listen instead of bracing. Even the cup in your hand tastes warmer when you bring presence to the sip. Your gaze is not passive. It participates. It imprints. It blesses. It warns. It calls things forward, or it lets them fade. The world is a mirror with a pulse, and your eyes are the hands shaping the clay. There is a simple way to feel this, not as theory, but as touch. Pause with me and breathe as a small ritual. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. Again, inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. As the breath draws and releases, notice how your shoulders answer. Notice how the floor feels more honest beneath your feet. How the air grows a little thicker with meaning. The breath is not only oxygen, it is a messenger telling your nervous system which story to play next. With each round, your inner sea calms and the outer waves take note. Now imagine you carry a projector beneath your sternum. It is old and wise, but it has been running unattended for years, projecting reels learned from family, school, headlines, and scar tissue. Many mornings it plays the film of "I must hurry," or "Life is scarce," or "People are far away." When your eyes open, the projector whirs and the room is washed with those colors before you have chosen anything. Here is the quiet secret. The projector listens to the one who watches. When the watcher grows steady, kind, and curious, the reels begin to change. New frames arrive, and the scene softens to make room for them. Bring that lantern of attention to one small object nearby. A key, a leaf, the corner of the table. Look without naming. Rest your eyes there as if you were letting a friend speak. Notice details that were too shy to appear before: a scratch shaped like a crescent moon, a weight that surprises you, the way light gathers and leans. Something subtle happens. The object seems to meet you. The line between me and that loosens, not as an idea, but as a felt warmth in the chest. Your gaze alters the field around the thing, and the thing answers by revealing more of itself. This is how matter becomes personal, not as possession, not as control, but as relationship. When you attend with warmth, the body receives the memo. Muscles unclench, jaw releases, belly trusts the next breath. Emotion follows. The hurried wind shifts toward quiet competence, a steadier flame. Mind, released from sirens and static, begins to choose with less noise and more truth. Environment responds. The right call lands, the tone in the room softens, and a small coincidence arrives at the door, like a bird that somehow knows your window is open. Try a second ritual, very brief. Place one hand over your heart, the other on your lower belly. Let the shoulders drop by a whisper. Take one slow cycle again. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. As you exhale, allow the muscles behind the eyes to soften, as if they were remembering a peaceful afternoon. Colors may brighten, edges may round, and a sense of belonging may step a little closer. That is not imagination in the small sense. It is imagination as the world's original language, the brush that paints bridges between inside and outside. If doubt rises, give it a chair. Doubt is a careful friend. Let it sit to the side while you look again. You are not forcing the world to obey your mood. You are entering the conversation it has always been offering. The lighthouse does not bully the ocean. It guides, it marks, it invites safe passage. In the same way, your gaze is an ethical power. It is the difference between hunting proof that you are alone and discovering signals that you are carried. Where attention settles, reality grows roots. Think of moments when you were watched with love. how the spine straightened without tension, how mistakes turned into practice instead of verdict. That is the quality of attention that changes matter. When you offer that gaze to your day, even silently, shapes rearrange, traffic opens. A lost key appears, the letter finally makes sense. You are not summoning miracles like a stage trick. You are letting the ordinary disclose its hidden architecture. What was scattered begins to line up like iron filings around a magnet you did not know you were holding. Keep the lantern close, it need not blaze to do its work. A steady, humane glow is enough. When the mind tries to sprint ahead, invite it to walk at the speed of breath. When emotion tumbles, give it a shoreline to break upon, then return to still water. When the body clenches, let your jaw rest, soften the tongue, widen your peripheral vision until the room feels larger than the thought. When the environment bristles, answer with a different weather and watch the front pass through without staying. For now, remember this small vow, whispered under your breath. Where I look, I bless. It is simple, but it trains your system to become the kind of observer that matter likes to cooperate with. Carry it through the next hours, the lantern, the projector, the breath, and watch for quiet adjustments, small reorders, the way coincidence gathers around sincerity. You are not trying to become someone new. You are remembering the one who can look with truth and warmth at the same time. And in the next breaths, we will walk deeper, past the edges of the scene, to meet the mechanism that turns a warm gaze into a tangible pattern, so that what you feel inside finds its echo in wood, in glass, in the lives you touch, and in the future that has already begun to listen. There is a choreography unfolding in you each time you truly look. First, the breath steadies, then the drummer in your chest finds a kinder tempo, then the mind's weather clears enough for sunlight to land. What you attend to is not just noticed. It is welcomed into a warmer climate. In that climate, matter behaves differently. Doors that were stuck loosen. Faces read you as safe. Even the day itself seems to choose a more gracious map. Imagine again the lantern you carry. When its beam is shaky, the room grows nervous and throws back jittery shadows. When its beam is steady, objects relax into clarity. This is not dominance. It is hospitality. Your gaze sets the table, and the world decides it is all right to sit and show its true shape. The body learns from this immediately. Jaw unhooks, tongue rests, the back of the eyes softens, emotion follows suit, trading sirens for a fireplace. Thought stops sprinting and begins to listen. Environment, relieved, reveals paths that were there all along but hidden by rush and doubt. There is a small helper in the doorway of awareness, an inner doorkeeper who chooses which signals get your attention. Most days it carries instructions written long ago. Search for threat, prove the old story, filter out quiet blessings. When you bring a calm, sincere gaze, the doorkeeper updates the guest list. It starts letting in the shy evidence that your life is safer than it felt, kinder than it sounded, more possible than the headline suggested. Not because you deny reality, but because you widened reality to include what panic always edits out. Try this now as a brief rite. Let the gaze go soft as if you were looking past the screen into a horizon, without moving the eyes much. Notice how the sides of the room reappear in your awareness. Whisper inside, I am not hunting. I am receiving. Take one gentle cycle. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. On the exhale, let the shoulders drop by a breath's width. Choose 3 quiet things around you and bless them without words. The doorkeeper hears your tone and changes its sorting. You have not forced a thing, you have changed the weather. Think of the projector beneath the sternum. It does not only play pictures, it plays feeling tones. A frame colored by fear turns the hallway into a courtroom. A frame warmed by trust turns the hallway into an invitation. When your gaze meets the world, the feeling tone acts like a dye in water, tinting every edge. The marvel is that feeling tones are teachable. They learn from breath, from posture, from the words you do not say but think toward a scene like a blessing. Over a handful of mornings, the projector's reels can change. Over a season, entire storylines retire. A second practice, very short. Place one palm on the chest and let it be a lantern. With the other hand, lightly touch the table, the chair, or the fabric on your knee. You are bridging inside and outside on purpose. Breathe again. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. As you exhale, imagine the lantern glow passing through the palm into whatever you touch. Give it a quality, not heat, not pressure, just a quiet permission. Then release the hand and look at the space as if you had tidied a room in your childhood home. You may notice that the edges feel friendlier, as though the day has pulled a chair closer to you. Skepticism may arrive with folded arms. Offer it tea. Tell it this is not fantasy, this is literacy. You are learning to read and write in the first language of the world. Attention plus feeling, plus breath. In that language, a sigh can be an eraser, and a pause can be a doorway. When you hold the lantern with dignity, you are not denying pain or complexity. You are choosing which currents to strengthen so the boat moves the way it needs to move. The ocean remains the ocean. You are simply sailing with a truer wind. Notice the chain of coherence forming. Mind chooses a kinder sentence. Emotion echoes with a steadier drum. Body aligns, shoulders over hips, jaw unclenched, belly present. Environment mirrors back small agreements. The email tone softens, the timing works, the message lands. You have felt this even on ordinary days. When you stop chasing the elevator, it opens. When you stop defending your worth, the conversation becomes worth having. These are not tricks, they are the common physics of a life seen with warmth. The lighthouse image returns here with a task. Aim it not at problems, but at safe harbors. Let the beam sweep calmly, naming with your breath what you want more of. Clarity, courage, simple sufficiency. Speak it under the breath so the body hears first. Clarity. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. Courage. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. Sufficiency. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. The doorkeeper at the threshold of awareness begins to collect matching evidence. Your projector adjusts the reel to support the tone you just sang into your cells. There will be moments when the room refuses your warmth, when the world keeps its shoulders up. In those moments, do not weaponize attention. Withdraw the demand, keep the blessing. Lower the lantern, do not smash it. Step back into your own breath and choose a smaller field. Your hands, the cup, the next 2 minutes. Reality often needs a narrow beam to reset. When the tide is too strong, a harbor is wiser than the open sea. The body knows this and will guide you there if you let it. Before we close, a final miniature ritual to carry in a pocket. Choose a phrase that feels like home. Something like, I move at the speed of trust, or I see with a gentle fire. Keep it near the tongue. Anytime your attention starts to hunt, speak the phrase silently and soften the eyes again. 1 cycle of breath, inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. Then ask quietly, what is the kindest next true step? Let the answer come from the body's yes, rather than the mind's panic. This is how attention becomes form, through patient, repeatable kindness that teaches matter how to stand near you. Hold this as your craft for the coming hours. You are not building a fortress, you are cultivating a garden where the right visitors know they are welcome. As the soil learns your care, it will surprise you with what chooses to grow. And as you sleep tonight, the projector will keep adjusting its reels, preparing to cast a clearer dawn. In the next movement, we will aim this lantern more precisely toward a chosen horizon, and give that choice a voice, a symbol, and a simple act. So the life you feel inside finds pathways in wood and glass, and the day that waits just beyond your door. Bring the lantern closer to the heart, and listen. Your day is full of crossroads that look ordinary. Which tone to send in a message, which story to tell yourself before a meeting, which memory to water. Choice is not a loud trumpet, it is a quiet steering wheel. When you set a horizon with clarity and warmth, the sea begins to organize its waves toward it, not because you force the ocean, but because you finally sail with the wind instead of against it. Begin with a simple naming. Ask softly, what wants to grow now? Not in a lifetime, not in a decade. Now, a kinder friendship with your body, a steadier courage in your voice, the return of trust while you work. Let one answer step forward, The projector beneath your sternum brightens when a choice is spoken in plain language. It does not need ornate promises, it needs the honesty of a lighthouse that says, "Here I stand." Give that choice a felt texture. If it were weather, would it be a clear morning, a slow rain, a warm dusk? If it were music, would it be a low drum, a cello line, a humming choir? Attention marries form through texture. The doorkeeper at the threshold of awareness listens for tone. Offer it a steady one, and it will admit matching signals from the world. Now we mark the choice with a symbol. A symbol is a shortcut for the body, and an invitation for matter to cooperate. It might be a small circle on your wrist, drawn with a safe pencil, a key you place in your pocket, a thread tied loosely on your finger, a stone that fits your palm. Keep it simple and quiet. The symbol is not a spell, it is a vow you can touch without words. Try a brief rite to seal it. Sit as you are. Let the jaw soften. Lower the shoulders by a breath. Whisper the choice once, as if you were telling it to a friend who will not gossip. Set your right hand over your heart, left hand over the lower belly. Take one gentle cycle. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. With the exhale, imagine the lantern inside you pouring a steady glow into the symbol you chose. If it is a thread, see it glimmer. If it is a stone, feel it gain a quiet warmth. You are teaching the body a new alphabet: choice, breath, touch. The mind will ask for guarantees. Offer it companionship instead. Say, "We are not rushing, we are aligning." The difference matters. Rush cracks coherence. Alignment stitches it. Let emotion follow the stitch. A careful hope, not fireworks. The body hears and answers in posture. Without trying, the spine finds a little more vertical truth. The environment takes notes, and small permissions appear. A message arrives with softer edges. A delay opens a better window. A helpful face turns toward you in a place you did not expect. To help the projector change its reels, pair the symbol with a sentence that the body can believe. Keep it short and muscular. Something like, "I move with clear kindness," or "My voice carries steady fire." Say it only under the breath. The words are not meant to impress the air. They are meant to retune the drum in your chest. On cue, breathe once more. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. As you exhale, imagine the sentence dropping into the belly and settling like a smooth stone at the bottom of a lake. Give your choice a path through behavior, so matter has a handle to hold. The smallest visible step is the law here. Not a heroic leap, not a fresh identity, one small act that can be done before the sun sleeps. If your horizon is a kinder friendship with your body, your step may be to drink water slowly while actually tasting it. If your horizon is courage in your voice, your step may be to speak one honest sentence to someone who can hear it. If your horizon is trust while you work, your step may be to break the next task into 2 easy pieces and begin the easiest one. Mark the step in a way your senses respect. Write it on a tiny card, or place the chosen stone on your keyboard, or turn the thread on your finger 3 times to say, "Now." The doorkeeper loves specificity. It starts opening doors for a body that acts in small, consistent ways. The projector, watching you keep your vow, edits its reels in your favor. Over a handful of days, the film changes scene by scene. Over a season, the genre of your life shifts from survival to stewardship. A second ritual, very short, for the moments when doubt fogs the glass. Pause wherever you are. Let your eyes soften, as if you were looking beyond the nearest wall. Touch the symbol. Say inside, the horizon remains. Breathe, inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. Then shift your attention outward by 1 layer. Name 3 steady things that do not depend on your mood. The weight of the chair, the hum in the room, the line of light across the floor. Stability outside invites stability inside. From that steadier ground, take the smallest visible step again. No drama, just follow through. There will be days when your choice feels far away, when the symbol seems like a simple ornament with no power. That is the day the practice counts double. Not because you force belief, but because you are keeping a promise to your nervous system. The lighthouse keeps shining, even when fog erases the coast. It does not shout, it repeats. In the repetition, ships remember the way. In your repetition, the body remembers the route to coherence, and matter learns your pattern. Watch how coherence travels through 4 rooms at once. Mind chooses the sentence and holds it without strain. Emotion warms without boiling. Body expresses the choice in posture and micro-actions. Environment mirrors back shy agreements, a stranger's kindness, a sudden clarity in timing, the exact resource you needed, sitting quietly within reach. These are not accidents in the cheap sense. They are the field answering an intelligent observer with an intelligent reply. Let belonging be your subtle invitation. You do not push your choice into the world. You invite the world to hold it with you. When you touch the symbol, you are saying, I am part of a pattern that includes this room, this hour, these hands. When you act the step, you are placing a flag on the map where others can find you. The right help recognizes that flag without fanfare. The day rearranges quietly to meet your seriousness. Before we close, tuck a pocket formula where you can reach it. Choice, symbol, smallest step, breath. If a storm rises, do them in that order. If the storm keeps howling, do them again. Smaller, slower, kinder. You are not trying to pass a test. You are building a path that knows your feet. Carry the lantern into the next hours. Let the projector rest on its new reel. Touch the symbol whenever you forget what you chose. And keep listening for the quiet choreography that begins when you act from warmth instead of hurry. In the next movement, we will take this practice beyond skin and thought into the room itself, so that doors, timing, and coincidence become part of the ritual, and the space around you learns to partner with your gaze. Let us cross the threshold where breath becomes architecture. You have learned to steady the lantern inside your chest and to choose a horizon with a clear symbol. Now we invite the room itself to apprentice with your rhythm. Space is not neutral. Walls keep stories. Chairs remember postures. Doorways hold arrival and departure, like tide lines. When you offer a consistent quality of attention, the room begins to echo it back, and matter learns to stand with you instead of against you. Begin with the simplest altar, a clean square of table, a small stone, a glass of water, a thread, a key. Not a shrine to impress the sky, but a place where coherence can sit down. Give the surface a slow wipe, as if you were erasing yesterday's noise. Place the symbol you chose within reach. Then add one object that represents the horizon you named, a blank card for clarity. A smooth leaf for gentleness, a small tool for work that flows. Hospitality is the physics here. You are telling the room, you are welcome to help. Now listen to the doorkeeper at awareness as it extends to the edges of the space. Its old instructions may still whisper, catalog, clutter, count threats, brace for interruption. Teach it a new list through ritual and posture. Stand or sit with your spine relaxed and honest. Let your gaze go soft and wide, as though you were looking through the room to a patient horizon beyond. Take one cycle to tune the air. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. As you exhale, imagine the lantern inside you brushing the corners with a quiet light, the way dawn removes harshness without moving a single wall. Choose 3 contact points between body and world, and give them names that the body trusts. The floor as ground, the chair as shore, the table as harbor. Touch each once with the palm, slowly, as if you were greeting old friends. The projector beneath the sternum registers this as choreography, not pretend. It adjusts the reel to the tempo of welcome. Emotion answers by lowering its shoulders. Thought stops sprinting and sits nearby, willing to learn. Environment begins to display its hidden rails. A path opens between where you are and what needs doing, with fewer snags and less waste. Try a miniature practice for arranging time, as well as objects. Pick a single interval, no more than the length of a tea steeping. Mark its beginning by placing your symbol on the table's left edge, and its end by moving the symbol to the right edge. Between those 2 gestures, speak your sentence under the breath, once at the start and once at the close. In this way, the room learns your cadence. Open, do, close. Repetition is the hinge that teaches matter your grammar. After a handful of repetitions on ordinary days, doors begin to cooperate with your knuckles. There will be moments when space feels stubborn, when the light is wrong, the sounds are sharp, the desk is a riot. Do not argue with the room. Reduce the field. Clear one hand's width on the table. Remove 3 items and set them aside. Place your symbol in the cleared square, as if crowning a tiny hill. 1 breath cycle. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. Then do the smallest visible step that honors your horizon. A room does not convert by debate. It converts by the gentle insistence of pattern. The lighthouse does not scold the fog. It repeats its sweep until ships learn the curve. If you are moving through public space, make an invisible altar. Choose a radius the size of your outstretched arms. Let your gaze soften. Allow peripheral vision to widen. Touch your wrist where the invisible thread would be. Whisper the pocket sentence. Breathe once, inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. Then align one object within reach. Straighten a menu. Square a notebook. Nudge a cup to center. The point is not tidiness, it is signal. You are telling the field, I am here, coherent, ready. Often the timing of things answers. A voice calls your name, a cue loosens, a helpful glance finds you as if you had turned on a beacon. Bring your attention to thresholds. Door frames are teachers. Each time you pass through one, let it become a brief rite. As your foot crosses, soften the eyes, drop the shoulders by a whisper, and name your quality. Clear kindness, steady fire, simple sufficiency. The projector learns to change reels at crossings. Emotion learns to reset without drama. Body learns to carry the same weather from room to room. Environment learns to expect your tone and makes a little space for it, the way a tide makes a path for a familiar boat. Now extend the practice to sound. The room has its own breath, hum of electricity, wheels outside, a bird stitching the morning. Instead of resisting the noise, weave it. Choose one strand of sound and treat it as a metronome. Each time it repeats, let it cue a micro-release in the jaw, a softening at the back of the eyes, or a return to your sentence. Attention plus rhythm becomes a loom. On that loom, stress has fewer loose threads to tangle. Matter aligns with the pattern you keep demonstrating, without force. A second ritual, very brief, for moments of overload. Step back from the task by the space of a heartbeat. Rest one hand on the surface that supports you, even if it is the air above your lap. Name 3 steady facts out loud if you can. I have a body. I am breathing. The ground holds. Take 1 cycle. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. Then rotate your symbol a quarter turn, as if turning the page. This tiny pivot tells the nervous system and the room that the scene is allowed to refresh without permission from fear. You will notice how coherence travels, the quiet chain you are training on purpose. Mind chooses a sentence that belongs here. Emotion warms without boiling. Body aligns with small, dignified gestures. Environment replies with shy agreements. A missing file appears where you forgot you left it. The pen writes without scratching. The conversation that worried you happens to be postponed to a better hour. These are not bargain miracles. They are the ordinary physics of a life in conversation with its space. Keep the call to belonging gentle. This is not about optimizing every corner into a showroom. It is about reminding the room that you live here. When you leave, return one object to its home. When you arrive, light the lantern with a breath before turning on a screen. When you forget, forgive quickly and begin again. Matter is patient with a sincere student. Carry this practice into the next hours. Let the altar be small and real. Let the symbol be humble and loyal. Let your sentence ride the breath like a boat on a friendly current. And as evening approaches, we will take one more step outward from room to relationship, so that the same coherent gaze that arranges objects can soften a voice, open a conversation, and let other hearts feel the safe harbor you are becoming. Bring your lantern to the doorway, where 2 worlds meet, your inner weather and another person's sky. Relationship is where your gaze goes public. The same warmth that steadies a room can soften a voice, open a conversation, and let 2 nervous systems remember they are not enemies. This is not a script for perfect charm. It is a way of standing that invites truth without harm. Begin with posture, because posture is a promise. Let the sternum float as if a small thread lifted it, while the ribs remain kind. Place the tongue softly on the roof of the mouth, so words leave like water, not gravel. Widen the eyes a fraction, not to stare, but to include. Imagine the lighthouse in your chest, turning once, slow and sure, announcing safe harbor. When you greet someone, greet them with your breath before your mouth. Try a first micro practice you can use in any doorway of conversation. As you notice another's face or name, perform a silent bow inside. On that bow, take one gentle cycle. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. While you exhale, let the muscles behind the eyes soften by a whisper. Say within, I am not hunting, I am receiving. This single courtesy changes the doorkeeper at awareness. It stops searching for threat and starts listening for meaning. People feel this without knowing why. Shoulders lower, the room gains a degree of permission. Think of the projector beneath your sternum. It does not only play pictures about you, it also projects expectations about others. Old reels try to run. They will not understand. They are already judging. I must defend. When your lantern is steady, those reels lose volume. Replace them with a sentence your body can believe. We can meet at the level of dignity. Say it inwardly, not to persuade them, but to tune yourself. The field between you takes its color from that tone. Let your listening become a ritual. Choose a small neutral object in the shared space, a pen, a cup, a window latch, and place a fingertip there as if you were holding the hinge of the moment. This does not distract you. It stabilizes you. Feel the coolness or warmth. Let your jaw hang one grain of rice looser. Every time the other person speaks, allow a heartbeat of silence after their last word, as if you were turning a page gently. That tiny pause teaches the room that no one will be punished for being real. Offer questions shaped like open hands. What matters to you here? What would make this easier? What did I miss? These are not tricks. They are keys that fit most doors. Keep them short and honest. When you hear something difficult, do not let your mouth answer first. Let your shoulders answer by dropping. Your breath answer by deepening. Your eyes answer by staying. We are animals who watch for exits. When your gaze does not run away, another nervous system decides it is allowed to stay and tell the rest of the truth. There will be times when the weather turns, a word pricks, the old story floods back, the projector scrambles for the courtroom reel. Catch it kindly. Perform the second micro practice, repair in place. Name 3 steady facts in your mind. I have a body. I am breathing. The ground holds. Touch the symbol you chose earlier. A thread, a stone, a key. 1 cycle, inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. Then speak 1 sentence that cleans the window without blame. Let me try that again, or I want to understand, or I hear the weight in that. Repair is not an apology for existing. It is the art of keeping the bridge. Remember how coherence travels through 4 rooms at once. Mind chooses a sentence worth saying. Emotion warms but does not boil. Body carries the tone in posture and pace. Environment mirrors back small agreements. A voice softens. Interruption turns into invitation. Timing aligns so that what needed to be said finds a gentler corridor. You have felt this with strangers in shops, with friends in kitchens, with those you love when both of you are tired. Attention becomes climate, and climate becomes conduct. Give belonging a visible shape. When possible, place 1 shared object between you and tend it together. A document, a napkin with a sketch, a list of options written briefly in large letters. Let the hands point to the page instead of at each other. The page becomes the altar of the moment. The projector calms when the argument has a place to sit outside the bodies. The doorkeeper, relieved, lets in solutions that pride would have blocked. If words tangle, step sideways into image. Offer a metaphor, and let both of you touch it. It feels like we are rowing the same boat but with different rhythms. What if we listen for 1 drummer? Or, this is a lighthouse night. We need slow signals, not fireworks. Metaphor is a common language. When names hurt and facts bruise, it restores distance without losing intimacy. Practice the smallest visible kindness. Pour water, adjust a chair, open a window for fresh air. State the obvious that brings relief. We can take a breath, then do it together. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. The shared exhale resets the metronomes, bodies that breathe at the same tempo. Remember, they are a team even when they disagree. From that softness, the next true sentence rises, usually shorter and truer than the first attempt. When fear of outcome squeezes the throat, choose a horizon for the relationship, not just the task. Name it inwardly. We leave with dignity, or we keep the door open, or we choose clarity over speed. Let that horizon guide which hills are worth climbing, and which can be walked around. The lighthouse is not a spotlight that exposes, it is a promise that steadies. Hold it above the scene. The field takes its cues. A gentle boundary is a kindness to both shores. If you need to say no, wrap it in the lantern's light. I cannot promise that. I do not have capacity for that today. That is not my lane. Speak slowly enough that your body can carry the words without flinching. Follow with one small bridge. Here is what I can do now, or here is someone who can help. Boundaries spoken with breath become navigational buoys, not walls. When you must bring heat, bring clean heat. Anger can be a truthful lighthouse flare, if it is brief, specific, and paired with care. Name the behavior, not the being. Point to the shared altar, not the heart. Then cool the scene with a breath and one sentence of respect. Clean heat clears fog, dirty heat burns boats. Your lantern knows the difference. Before you close a meeting or a hard talk, seal the field with a simple rite. Ask, what did we do well? Listen. Then ask, what is the smallest next step? Write it where both can see. Touch the symbol once, even secretly. One final cycle. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. Let the projector record this ending. Endings teach beginnings how to arrive next time. Carry these gestures into the street, the kitchen, the long corridor of a workday. You are not trying to win every exchange. You are cultivating a climate where truth can land without shattering, where help recognizes your flag, where your gaze teaches matter to organize around human dignity. The day will begin to place the right people near your path. At the hour you can receive them, the way a harbor learns to read the tide. And as night approaches, there is one more chamber to open, the one beneath words and weather. In the final movement, we will show your lantern how to work while you sleep, how the projector edits its reels in the dark, and how dreams and early light can conspire with your chosen horizon, so that coincidence, timing, and quiet certainty meet you at the first cup of morning. When evening leans its shoulder against your window, let the lantern do its finest work. Day has scattered you into many rooms, many voices, many little promises. Night is the long shoreline where you gather what matters and give the rest back to the tide. You are not trying to control the dark. You are asking it to collaborate as an old friend who knows the secret trails between your heart and tomorrow. Begin by closing the circle with a small rite. Clear one hand's width on the table or nightstand. Place your symbol there, a thread, a stone, a key. Add one glass of water and a page no larger than your palm. On the page, write a single honest sentence that sums what you are choosing now, not forever. I carry clear kindness, or my work flows with quiet courage, or I keep the door of trust open. Place the page under the glass as if tucking a note beneath a lighthouse lamp. Then meet your body like a shoreline meets returning waves. Sit or lie down. Let the jaw drift from the hinges by a whisper. Soften the tongue. Invite the muscles behind the eyes to loosen as if shading a lamp. Touch the symbol with 2 fingers and breathe one easy cycle. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. As you exhale, imagine the lantern inside you lowering its brightness to a steady ember that warms without glare. Say inside, very softly, "The night carries this with me." There is an inner librarian who works best after dusk. All day it has watched the projector beneath your sternum play, reels both old and new. At night, the librarian files. It chooses which frames to keep, which to retire, which to color with a warmer dye. Give it good material. The page under the glass, the breath, the unforced sentence. These are instructions delivered in the oldest language. Attention shaped into feeling, handed to the body with touch. If worry insists on reading headlines in your chest, do not wrestle it. Offer it a seat near the door and a blanket. Then practice a brief drift ritual. Count not numbers but images, the lantern sweeping a calm arc, the projector changing reels with a soft click, the shoreline receiving and smoothing every wave. With each image, take a gentle cycle. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. You are not solving the night. You are choosing which current to ride across it. Let the room partner with you. Darken one light, clear one surface, crack one window, or imagine it open, if the air is cold. Whisper to the space the way sailors speak to ropes and wood. Hold. The environment understands tone. It replies by loosening the mechanical hum in your head and softening the corners of furniture that used to glare at you after long days. The bed becomes a harbor, not a trap. The pillow a small coastline for the mind to land. Dreams may come, or only that deep black silk that has no pictures at all. Both are good. If dreams visit, treat them kindly but briefly. In the morning, write a single line, no poetry needed, about the feeling tone they left, like a clean rain, or a tangled corridor, or a tall room with high windows. Feelings are dyes for the day's fabric. Naming them keeps the color from spilling everywhere. If no dream remains, bless the blankness. It is the librarian's way of working in silence. When dawn brightens the edge of the curtain, do not rush to the loudest bell. Keep the lighthouse embered for a handful of breaths. Before screens, before the old reels wind up, find your symbol and touch it once. Name 3 steady facts. I have a body. I am breathing. The ground holds. Then take one cycle with your chosen sentence. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6, letting the words drop like a smooth stone to the lake floor of your belly. Stand slowly, as if not to startle the new day. Create a narrow bridge from night's vow to morning's wood and glass. Pour the water from the glass and drink half with presence, tasting it as if the sea had returned in a friendlier form. The remaining half is for the room. Let a plant or the sink receive it with thanks. This is not superstition. It is choreography that the doorkeeper at awareness understands. You show, with water and touch, that your inner choice has an outer path. Choose the smallest visible step that matches your sentence. Not 10 tasks, only 1. If your vow is clear kindness, send one patient message before the day gets loud. If your vow is quiet courage, speak one clean no to a request that would scatter you. If your vow is an open door, place one object where collaboration can find it. A document shared, a chair pulled closer, a notebook set in the middle, instead of off to the side. Matter likes a handle, give it one. If anxiety wakes before you do, and tries to drag you toward jagged shores, answer with the pocket right that resets weather. Stand with feet hip width, soften the eyes, let the shoulders sit honestly on the ribs, touch your wrist where the thread would be. Whisper your sentence only once, then take 2 slow cycles. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6. On the last exhale, widen your peripheral vision until the room grows bigger than the thought. Most storms lose ambition when the horizon reappears. Notice how coherence travels through the 4 rooms even now. Mind remembers the sentence without clenching. Emotion glows like banked coals, warm enough to cook the day without burning it. Body walks at the speed of trust, not the speed of alarm. Environment answers with shy agreements, green lights that were not there yesterday, a seat open at the right moment, a name arriving when you needed it, the small yes that sets the tone for larger ones. This is not a bribe to fate, it is the field recognizing the integrity of your signal. Carry tenderness for the hours that tangle. You will forget, then remember, then forget again. That is the rhythm of real practice. Each return strengthens the path, the way feet deepen a forest trail, not by force, but by faithful passage. Each night, the librarian files a little more wisely. Each morning, the projector lifts a reel that fits the day you are actually living, not the fear you rehearsed by accident. Offer belonging as a quiet invitation wherever you go. Leave a space cleaner than you found it. Bless 3 ordinary objects with your gaze without telling anyone you did. Let one stranger keep their dignity in a moment when habit would snatch it away. These small rites teach the world to echo your lighthouse, not because it must, but because cooperation feels like truth. Before you step into the wider noise, seal the practice with a closing and opening gesture. Touch the symbol once, then place it where your hand will meet it again at day's end. Say, "We continue," not as a pledge of perfection but as a promise of return. Lantern, projector, breath, room and field, they now know your rhythm. They will meet you halfway as often as you meet yourself. Walk out gently, the sea is listening. And in the next dawns, as you keep this conversation with matter alive, watch how coincidence starts wearing your colors, how timing walks in step with your pace, how doors you had stopped knocking begin to open from the inside, as if the world had been waiting for your gaze to remember its light.